it just like was a life-altering book for me. Because
okay,
I
I'm gonna have to
remember,
watch it.
I was just like, oh my gosh, like taught me what friendship was. That book taught me what the word melancholy meant. I remember. No, I'm literally obsessed.
Hey,
Hey,
besties.
besties.
Welcome to
Literally Obsessed.
It's Cassie.
And Brittany.
Happy birthday, Brittany.
Oh, thank you so much. Surprise to me.
Surprise.
It's not
her
actually
birthday,
my birthday today.
But it was her birthday
a couple days ago.
2 days ago. So everybody say happy birthday, Brittany.
Thank you.
Thank you. I can hear you from all the way over there.
I can hear it. I did see some of your guys' messages. Thank you so much. So sweet.
So sweet. She's now in her 30s.
Ugh, don't
30,
do it,
flirty,
guys.
and thriving. Heavy on the thriving.
Heavy on the thriving. I did watch the movie on my birthday.
Did you watch it on? Oh, period.
Yeah.
Yes.
To get into
The
vibe.
spirit. How do you feel now that you're 30?
I truly feel like, I don't know if it's just time going by so fast. I don't know what it is. Like, I haven't even comprehended that it's come and gone.
Yeah, it's already left. But like, we could still celebrate.
We can, and I'm sure we will. Not like trying to be annoying. I just mean like we've been using my birthday as an excuse to do anything.
Yeah.
Recently, so
It gives us something to look forward to.
I'm sure that we will continue to be like, well, it was your birthday, so we can do this.
Yeah,
So.
which is fine. But everybody wish Brittany a great 30s. Happy
Thank you.
30s. Anyways, getting into today's episode. Today we have a fun one for you guys. I had an idea. I came up with this, right? Probably not the first one to talk about this, but
is a totally original idea.
totally original idea. But we wanted to talk today about books that we read as kids,
Yeah.
which is a lot of like nostalgia for the both of us. So I know we're both excited to talk about that today. I was like looking through like old pictures of me just to be like, at what point was I reading a book? Like what books were I reading at this? And then I had to like look up books from like the 2010s.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I did read that book.
Yeah.
Just to like see what I remembered. So this has been like a hyped up book like episode for me. Not gonna lie.
I love that. Are you a big reader as a kid?
I like was for a minute, like for a couple years off and on. And then once I hit high school, like it dropped.
Okay, fair.
But that's because I was like doing extracurricular stuff. And I don't think I ever like wanted to read after that. So
I feel that.
it dropped. But now here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
All right. Well, before we get into this episode fully, content and spoiler warning for you guys. Even though these are books that have been out for a while, there is a potential we will spoil something that happens in these books, and the content should not be too bad.
Shouldn't be anything like as our usual, but the cussing.
Who knows? Yeah, the cussing is the one.
So, and so sorry if you guys hear me cough. It's that time of year.
Yes.
Crazy stuff. Anyways, let's kind of hop into it. You asked me if I was a heavy reader as a kid.
I did.
I answered. Now it's your turn.
Oh, okay.
We've said this before, but for today's episode, we'll preface.
Yeah, I think I was a pretty big reader as a kid. I was like annoying and would sometimes read like a book a day as that kid.
That's why you're the way you are.
Yeah, I think so. But I was a big participant in like the library summer reading program, and
Oh my God,
was
cute.
I know, it's really nostalgic.
You're like a little nerd.
Yeah, it really was. But kind of the same. Once I got into like middle school, high school, I really dropped off because you have to like read things for school, and I really got to a point where I hated reading.
Yeah, me too.
So, yeah.
Well, that's just because they would have to like teach certain books, which I get.
Yeah, you're reading like fucking Odyssey.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
The Odyssey.
The
oh my
Odyssey,
gosh.
Like you're reading
To
books
Kill
like
a Mockingbird. Like all of the
Yeah.
ones that like were required educationally. So then when you're reading like something by yourself, at least for me, I know a bunch of people who like read for like their whole entire life. But I don't know. I just did not want to do that at home.
Yeah, it like frustrated me.
Yeah.
So. I'm glad I'm back into it though.
It's the way I relax now.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we figured that shit out.
Yeah.
But, so, okay. I do want to preface something first. Some of these books are like from when I was like a child. Like a
Oh, me too.
child. Okay. I didn't really look at yours.
Okay, I haven't looked at yours either.
Sick. And I was like, I hope that I'm not gonna sound super immature, because some of these were from when I was like 6 or 7, but they like soul tied to me.
Just wait till you hear my books.
Okay. Okay, so I just want to preface that.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. This was my favorite. Okay, I don't know why I started with my favorite one, but here we go. So there was this book called Flipped by Wendelin Van Drainen, something like that. I watched, it was a movie. Mm-hmm. It became a movie after it was a book, and it has like a, let me look up this act. Do you remember Good Luck Charlie? Remember Spencer? Yeah. Teddy's boyfriend? Yeah. He was in it. Oh. And he was like not a main character at all. He was like a side brother. Okay. Let me look up what her name is.
I also, so sorry, I just remembered like a huge book that I read and I forgot to write it down, so I'm going to add it.
To write it down.
I'm going to add her in real quick.
There was also a couple books on here. I'll go back to Flipped, but there was a couple books that I feel like I remember in my head, but I can't tell you the name.
Uh-huh. I do feel like there's a lot of books that like I read so many books I just can't remember, like you know.
No, I know.
Like some of the, like I was like, I think I read like Nancy Drew. Do I put that in here? You know what I mean? Like
there was a bunch of stuff like that. So I don't know, like of course I can't like tell you an entire list of things that I read as a kid. Yeah. But some of these like I just vividly remember.
Exactly.
Do you know this girl, Madeline Carroll?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. She was an actress. She's been in like like some random ones, some random movies. I don't know if you ever watched The Spy Next Door with Jackie Chan. It's like stupid movies. Stupid movies. But I don't know. She was like one of my favorite actresses. And then this was when I was like 9-ish. The movie came out, and I watched it and I was like, oh my God, this is like my favorite movie ever. So I read the book, and that was like one of my first books, except for like, I guess Harry Potter, but like that I watched and then like read. So, watched and then read. So, it's like a really cute story. It's about like a very, like these two little kids who like knew each other, since they were 5, and the girl liked him first, and then it flipped into she hated him, and then he liked her. Okay. It's a very cute young adult book, but like it shaped me as a kid. It was set in the 50s, and I don't know. It was just, you had to be there. It was Coachella 2016. Like
love that.
Like it was just so good. If you know it, please shout it out, because I don't know anyone who's ever read that book. I've never met anyone.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, it was just my please. There has to be someone out there. Anyways, please go ahead.
Okay, my first one is The Tale of Despereaux by Kate DiCamillo.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, really? Okay, they did make this into a movie. I think it was like an animated movie though. But it is about a little mouse.
A mouse?
Yeah. Oh, it's about a little mouse who lives in like a castle, and like I think his name is like Despereaux or whatever. And
it sounds so familiar.
Maybe you've seen the movie, but it's like he has a little like sewing needle. And like that's how like he gets around, and like he fights off things with his little sewing needle and stuff.
So cute.
And like I can't remember too much of the book other than it's like him wandering around the castle, and like I don't know, he's like trying to save like the other critters and stuff. But I just remember that book had like, I loved that book so much as a kid.
Wait, that sounds so, can I look it up? I have to know, because that sounds so familiar. Maybe I have seen the movie. Oh my God, yes, I have seen the movie.
It's just like super cute.
Oh my God. He does have a little,
let me see him.
He does have a little
it's so cute.
I remember these characters, like the princess.
Yeah,
I remember that. Holy you fucking unlocked this memory.
Yeah, I think like the princess, like he ends up talking, well I don't think he can talk, but like he meets the princess or like something like that. Like I don't know, I should have like looked up a synopsis.
He's so little.
Yeah, he's so cute.
Wow, I didn't know it was a book though.
Yeah,
good to know. Okay, my next one is, so this was when I was in middle school. This was a pivotal moment for me in my life. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green.
Oh my God, fuck, why didn't I write that down?
How old were you when that came out though? Were you you must have been in high school.
Yeah. When did it come out? Well,
Like
whatever.
2013.
Oh shit. Well, then if that's the case, I
Or 2012.
graduated. Okay, yeah, it was high school.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I was like 6th grade ish. That was sixth grade, 6th, 7th. And that was like one of my first like older books that I read, even though it just was, I don't know how to explain it, but it wasn't really adult, but it was just like a teenage.
It's like your first time experiencing heartbreak.
Yeah. That movie, like, and that book totally like changed me. I wore like the okay like sweatshirt all the time. And like had my Tumblr account was like full of just The Fault in Our Stars.
Love
like
that.
Everything. And I was like convinced that one day I was gonna get a tattoo that said okay.
Oh no.
Thank fucking God I wasn't 18 at that time, because I probably would have.
Yeah.
But I don't know, so that book, like, this is probably the start of my I have this thing, guys, if you didn't already know, but I film myself whenever I'm like crying or like reading, especially when I'm crying. And I did that, and I wish I still had the video, but I put on Skinny Love by Birdie that was in the movie when I was reading the end of the book. So I put it on and set up my phone and videotaped me reading the last chapter.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dang.
You know, habits never die.
Maybe it's been a long time since I watched that movie.
You might have to watch it.
I was a fan of John Green and all of his little books.
Yeah.
So.
Like I didn't mention it, but like Looking for Alaska.
Yeah.
The
Paper
Towns. And there was another one.
I think it's Finding Alaska.
Alaska. That was something. But there was another one to it. But yeah, that one was one of my favorites.
Okay, love that. I don't know why I forgot about that one. Okay, my next book. This is also from Kate DeCamillo, and I truly didn't realize that it was the same author until I was doing this. Because of Winn-Dixie. Are you familiar with it?
That sounds very familiar. Have you talked to me about this before?
Maybe.
Sounds
it's
very
a
familiar.
movie, or it did become a movie, and it had Anna Sophia Robb in it when she was younger.
She was a queen of.
Yeah.
She was a star at her age.
I loved this book so much, and then I remember the movie came out, and like to the point where I would like dress like her. Like I would like put on my little Converse, and like she wears overalls. Like I would wear like that outfit. But basically, it's like a book. Oh my God, it's a beautiful. You should at least watch the movie.
Okay.
It's like beautiful. It's like this girl who her dad is a preacher, and they move because like her mom died, so they moved to like a new town, and her dad is like the new preacher or whatever. So she has no friends, and her dad have like not a great relationship. And she goes to the store, and there's like a dog running amok, but for some reason the dog is like drawn to her. And the store is called Winn-Dixie, like the grocery store, so she like lies and says that he's her dog and that his name is Winn-Dixie. And then she takes him home, and it's basically like everything is trying to keep her and this dog apart. Like the dad says no, like the landlord says they can't keep him, all of this stuff, but everybody basically just like falls in love with this dog. And like the whole thing is that he smiles like at people, and so like the people who made fun of her, like they start to like her because of like things that happen with the dog, or like she becomes friends with like the librarian. And like people like, I don't know, think the librarian is crazy, but she sits and like listens to her story, and they become friends. And then there's like a lady who's in town, they think that she's like a witch, and like Winn-Dixie wanders into her yard, and like they become friends. So basically she makes all of these friends with like people of all ages.
That's
and
so
it's like
cute.
all because of Winn-Dixie.
Okay. Fuck,
It's
I'm
like
gonna have to watch the movie.
So cute.
What is
like
it called? Okay,
because of Winn-Dixie.
because of Winn-Dixie. Okay.
Yeah. And I started watching the movie recently, but I couldn't finish it, and I was like, I have to watch the end because like it just like makes me cry.
Look up the.
Oh my God. And then little Elle Fanning is in it. She's like 5.
She's also in it.
Yeah. She's like, I think her name is like Sweet Pea or like Sweetie Pea. She's like, that's something, I don't know.
Oh, I've definitely watched this as a child.
It just like was a life altering book for me, because I
I'm gonna
remember
have to
like
watch it.
I was just like, oh my gosh, like taught me what friendship was. That book taught me what the word melancholy meant. I remember.
That's so cute. I'm gonna have to
like
watch
a beautiful
it. It's on
story.
Hulu.
Yeah.
It's on Hulu.
You gotta watch it.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it. That's so cute. I love wholesome books like that.
It's so good.
Okay, sick. This feels good. Okay, let's keep it rolling. This is what we needed this today.
We needed this.
So my next book, it's a series, but I know this is a pretty well-known or well-remembered series that was from like my youth, which was like early 2000s, so 2008-ish, maybe 2009. But it was the Rainbow Magic Fairies book. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think so.
Let me just show you what they are,
please,
because they probably started my like fairy addiction that I have.
Okay.
They
love
were
that.
a bunch of different fairies, and they all had different outfits and like were different gems and colors.
Okay.
So there was Ruby, the red fairy.
Oh, okay.
And then they had a bunch of other ones. So like these were like a separate series, but it was within the universe.
I see.
And it was like Gemma, and like there was like animal ones, and then they had an engineer fairy.
Oh, so
like,
cute.
It was basically Barbie,
Okay.
but these little fairies, and they had all these books, and it was just about like their little adventures.
That's
and
cute.
the first part of it was like the different gems, so like Ruby, I think there was like Emerald, and there was Jade, and all of those kind of like little fairy books. But I read about like 9 of them when I was in like first grade, and I like would read them back to back to back to back to back. And I've seen people on TikTok like make their outfits, and I want to be one for Halloween
Oh my God,
so
how
bad,
cute.
and I've just never done it. But this reminded me of it, and it was just so cute. So if any of you guys also remember that book,
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
please remind me, because no one else, like none of my friends read it
Yeah.
too. I was like, you guys never read this shit?
I hate when you have like an original experience like that.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I know this was a popular thing,
Mhm.
but like nobody else knows this except for me.
Yeah, like how come no one in my circle remembers?
And it's like I'm obviously friends with the wrong people.
Yeah, sorry, I gotta find new people.
Yeah.
I gotta find new friends.
Okay. I feel like as we keep going, I'm like, wait, fuck, I forgot to write this book
I know,
down.
I cut myself off.
Okay.
'Cause I already added
I'll,
2.
I'll cut myself now. Okay. Next book, I believe this was a series also, but it was called Artemis Fowl by, I think his name is pronounced Ian Colfer, but it's spelled Eoin. Have you ever heard of this book?
Mm-mm.
It was like a book about like a genius kid, and he was also like rich. But it was like a fantasy book, so there was like fairies in it and like mythical beings.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that they were supposed to make a movie, and they never made it.
Who was supposed to make it?
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure. Was it Kristen Dunst?
Really?
Kirsten
Kirsten.
Kirsten. I think she was supposed to play like the fairy. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah.
That sounds really interesting. That also sounds. What is it? Artemis
Fowl.
That sounds very familiar to me too.
Maybe, yeah.
Was this like something that came out when you were a child, or
It came out. I would
before?
probably say like early 2000s. I think I read it, and then my brother read it.
Oh, okay.
So
Little bro, you pass it on to little bro.
passed it on to little bro.
Love it. My next one is Dork Diaries by Rachel Renee Russell. I'm sure you've seen this.
I think I've heard of it. Yeah.
It is actually like more than 9 books now. Like she's
But they're like 50 pages long.
yeah, they're very, very small. They're for children.
Yeah.
But I think she's like kept on writing them for
Oh, wow,
years.
okay.
And I think they're on like either book 11 or 12.
Dang, that's crazy.
So like this is pretty crazy, and I know different characters have been a part of it, but Dork Diaries is I'm going to mess this up. So if you actually read this book, I'm sorry. It's been years, but it was about this like girl who got like bullied by this this girl in high school or something, and she would like write down like stuff in her diary, and like it like I think it got like exposed, something happened. But I read the first 2 or 3 books of it, and they were pretty like big for like a kid. Or at least for me possibly.
Yeah.
But I remember like reading it and like picturing what she looked like, because the cover of the book has her as like a little sketch, kind of like a doodle.
Okay.
But it's not colored in, so it's
okay.
just like a little sketch of her, and people on TikTok are now like casting what she would look like, or
okay.
what the mean girl would look like too, which is I saw it on TikTok the other day or a couple weeks ago, and that's what inspired me to text you for the episode, because I was like, I remember this book and I would love to see like a live action of Dork Diaries. So
yeah,
but it's a really good little series for like tweens, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
But it's cute, very cute.
Nice. Okay, my next one is A Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket, but it's really Daniel Handler. You never read these, right?
I've never read them, but I've seen clips of the movie.
You gotta watch the movie.
I know, I gotta watch the movie.
Not the show. Sorry about it.
That's what I've also heard. The show wasn't as great.
A lot of people hated on the movie because it did combine the first 3 books into one. So I get it, but like it had Jim Carrey in it,
so it was good.
It was fine. Yeah. But yeah, it's such a great book series. I think this one also has 11 or 12 books in it, but focuses on like orphans. Their parents died in a fire, and I never finished the series actually, so I don't fully know how it ends. But it was just basically like them being kind of passed off because they have like very distant relatives, and then you find out their parents and like their family is all a part of like this weird organization where they were like investigating wildfires, and like Count Olaf is involved. He wants their inheritance, and I remember thinking this was so cool because like the pen name is Lemony Snicket, and so like the whole thing is like it's being told from his perspective, as if he is like researching about these kids and like following their lives. And I remember that he came out with another book that was like the unauthorized biography or something, and like literally made it seem like Lemony Snicket was a real person.
That's crazy.
Like I was like a little confused for a second.
You were like, wait,
like there was pictures in it and like all this stuff that
every time
that just made it seem like it was like a real person investigating these other fictional characters.
That's interesting.
So I was like, dang, this is a fully like immersive experience,
immersive universe that they really sold you on as a kid.
Yeah,
which is, we got to start doing some fun stuff like that, kiddos.
Let's bring it back.
Yeah. That's cool. I have to watch the movie though.
Yeah, you have to.
I have to watch it. I've just seen the clips and that's not enough.
No, you gotta watch it. It's funny.
Okay, my next one, I wrote Goosebumps, but like
that's what I added in.
Okay, you did. Okay.
Yeah,
I wrote Goosebumps, but like I read like pretty big handful of them. I couldn't remember which exact ones. I know the doll one I read,
Night of the Living Dummy.
Yeah, loved that one.
Yeah.
But one that I was gonna replace with that one, because it's like I read Goosebumps a lot, but like not as much as this one singular book, but I couldn't remember the name. I was like, but I'll just put in like a scary one anyways. But there was a book that I used to read that had a bunch of like scary stories, and it was like a compiled book of, was it like,
from R.L. Stein?
No, I don't think so. Okay. But it was like, maybe it was. I just remember like what the front page looked like, and it was like this really scary like parking lot looking forest thing.
Oh, okay.
And it was just like scary stories, and I don't remember the title or the author, but it had like 20 maybe of just these really like kind of folk tale-ish like scary stories that you would hear from like your parents to like not do something or stay out late or whatever. And there was always like one that would always like flip back to in the book, and it was just about like 2 teenagers driving up to like a hill, and like the car blows out, and then like the guy comes out, and the girl is like, where'd he go? And then he's like on top of the roof dead and shit. And like I was like 13 and being like, yeah, this is fire. I was like, this is good. I love a suspense.
Yeah,
but I don't remember, and I probably wasn't like great at explaining it, but if any of you guys know what I'm talking about, please tell me, because I would love to find that book and reread it. Maybe that's why I like Verity so much, because it was so creepy and scary.
Yeah, I would argue I read probably almost every single Goosebumps book.
Everyone?
Maybe I'm like giving myself too much credit, but I read a lot.
There's a lot of them.
So I don't know. I'd have to look at all of them. I read a good amount, but my favorite one was, I think it's called Stay Out of the Basement.
I think I remember that one.
The dad turns into a plant.
Yep. I remember that one, because I thought it was like the Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
I would get that confused.
That one, and actually there was so many now that I think about it. Like Shocker on Shock Street. I really liked that one too. And Horrorville. Is that what it's called? Horrorland.
Was that the like
The goblins rule the.
No, that wasn't the one I was thinking of. There was like a clown one that I very it wasn't like focused on a clown, but there was a clown in it.
Yeah, I think so. I just can't.
I can't remember
what it is.
I'm telling you, most of the Goosebumps like titles I don't really remember.
Or there's one where these kids go to like their grandparents' farm and like the scarecrow comes to life. Or
I
something.
remember something like that. There was just so many, but they were like fun little books.
They were so fun.
Yeah. We were. It was like a couple months ago when we were like obsessing over the theme song.
It was probably during Halloween time.
It was during Halloween time or something.
Bow, 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 bow. I do love the
little shows.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't look too much into this, but if you guys remember this, it's like the Disney villains had a series. So like I'm pretty sure it was like Disney that produced, like an author that was under Disney like had written all of these because they were using the exact artwork from the movies and they were using, at least for like the oh my god, the covers, and they were using like the stories from Disney villains, and it was like complete retellings of like from the villain's perspective. And there was one
Descendants,
literally it was Descendants basically, but there was one in particular which was the fairest of them all with the evil queen, and I was obsessed with it. And this was like a full-on like 20 chapter book, which was pretty decent size for like a young book, and it was about like the perspective of like the evil queen and like how she actually loved Snow White and like she actually cared for her so much, and then something happened to where she was like not framed, but like she was tormented and then eventually had to like give the poison apple. I don't know, it was just like a really cool series where Disney like retold the villain story in like a different perspective. And I read like that one and like Ursula's, and they had Maleficent's was cool. I was a big Disney kid, same as Brittany, but like we were big Disney kids, but this was like peak for me, and I was like, I they're so misunderstood, like I don't like what, but they were really actually very detailed books. So shout out to whoever wrote them from Disney, but you were cool.
I do remember those. I just never read them.
Yeah, they're very like for like children.
Yeah,
but really good books, not gonna lie.
Okay, I'm gonna combine my next two because I just feel like they're quick ones. Okay, I loved Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh my god,
do you remember that?
Iconic.
It's a little like comic book of a boy and his tiger. Specifically from the Scholastic Book Fair.
The Scholastic version.
Yeah, like that's where I would read them.
Yeah,
was
absolutely.
At the Scholastic Book Fair.
Guys, bring it for
back.
Adults.
Yeah, seriously. And I remember like I would rent it from my school library and read it and then like return it.
Dude, I love a Scholastic book fair.
Love a Scholastic Book Fair. I remember like going through, I would circle everything I wanted. I'd be like, but mom, this book comes with like a necklace. No, I need this book.
The ones that came with anything like an edition.
Yeah.
Oh, those were
like,
fire.
Mom, like it's a girl math. I think I invented it before it happened.
My mom would give me like $5 and she's like, choose wisely.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, fuck. And then she's like, no toys. And I was like, fuck, mom, like I just want like a toy and a book. And she's like, you either have to pick a book or like a coloring book or something. You can't pick a toy. I still picked a toy.
Good for you. I remember my mom would be like, this is about books, not like trinkets. And I was like, literally, what's the point?
Like they sold things like great pricing, guys. It was like 25 cents.
Yeah.
Maybe like 10 cents.
Yeah.
Because you had to, I would always like work it all the way up to the dollar.
Yeah, as you should.
I was like, I'm not coming home with change.
Yeah. you can bet your bottom dollar.
I'm paying everything.
Oh, and then the other thing I was just going to throw in was the Mary Kate and Ashley books. They had like...
They wrote books?
Yeah, they had books about them. And it was like kind of based off their TV shows. So it was like them solving mysteries.
Oh,
like,
that's fun.
Yeah, things like that.
Was it someone else writing?
Oh, yeah.
As like...
I think it was like maybe from third person. I don't know.
Okay.
But I loved anything that those girls put out. So...
You were their number one fan.
I really was.
You were keeping track with them.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had books. Man, they had everything. Movies.
Should I fact check myself? Now I'm like... maybe I don't know.
I'm sure you're correct.
Okay, yes. Yeah, like it was like The Adventures of Mary Kate and Ashley. That's what it was called.
Was there like are they little tiny books?
Oh, they're tiny. This
Tiny.
big. They had so many. Two of a Kind. We've got Sweet 16. Like, yeah, I read all of those. Every single one.
No, that's so funny. I've never seen those before.
Yeah, like that's about how thick they were.
Just paper thin.
Literally.
Iconic. Okay. My next one is, this is enough of the Disney. This is my last one. Tiger Lily by Jodi Lynn Anderson.
Okay.
It was about, from Peter Pan, Tiger Lily, her character.
Okay.
And it was another retelling about how like sad she was in her tribe, and
Okay.
like how Peter was her best friend and they loved each other. And they like grew to love each other, and then Wendy came in and like totally ruined it. So this was like, it was still, they were young still, but like there was definitely a little love triangle going on, and it built the foundation for me loving romance books. I was just gonna say fuck Wendy, but
Okay.
Tiger Lily and Peter were so happy together. But it was a really good one. It was in her perspective, and she was just saying like how sad she was.
Oh.
About how like Captain Hook was like hating her tribe. I was like, wow, that like really says a lot.
Yeah.
But it was a really good book. And again, no one I know of ever
Yeah,
heard of that.
I've never heard of that.
I was just really obsessed with stuff like that.
Okay, next I have, this is so random, but I just really loved reading books about haunted places.
Okay, I'm listening.
So I remember reading a book, couldn't tell you what it was called, but it was all about the Winchester house. And
oh my god, the one here in LA?
No, it's in like,
Which one am I the big ass one?
what do you think? In LA?
There's like one in like Southern California that's like huge and has like stairways going nowhere.
That is the Winchester house, but it's not LA.
It's not it's
No.
Is it in California?
Yes.
Okay. Misspoke on the LA.
It's in San Jose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this one.
Oh, I see. Okay. At least I was thinking the same house.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah, so it was all about like how it was made and like the story of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just obsessed with it. I was so obsessed with the Winchester house. I wanted to go there. I like
gosh.
could recite facts to you. And so I just remember I would buy books that were like about haunted places. And I would like literally research about them.
That's translated into us liking the Ghost Files.
It's true.
Or whatever the...
Yeah.
What are they called now?
Ghost Files.
Ghost Files. Shout out to Ryan and Shane, our homies.
Our homies. I've always enjoyed haunted stuff. What can I say?
What can you say? That's cool. Were they like by...
They weren't
like
kids'
different
books.
authors? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like literally informative books about them.
You love to learn.
I love to learn.
You loved to learn.
What can you say?
Love it. We love a learner. Okay. My next one is Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Okay.
Had to put that in there because it's the root of my humor. It's just the reason why I like stupid shit.
Yes.
Did you ever read them?
I don't think I ever read them, but I have seen it, like the first movie.
The first movie?
Yeah.
Oh, guys, it's the funniest shit. I thought the Cheese Touch was the funniest shit at that time. I was like, oh my god, who made that up? That is so funny. But they were like stupid, silly books that I always remembered liking. And I think there's like 3 of them.
Mm-hmm. Sounds right.
Yeah. I always had a crush on the older brother.
Roderick.
Yeah. Loaded diaper. I know Roderick.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. What's your next one?
Okay. Obviously Twilight
Oh, yes.
by Stephanie Meyer.
Put that in there.
I had to. This book I read in like middle school. Oh,
Uh-huh.
sorry. Book series. If you guys listened, I think we talked about it last week.
Yeah.
I didn't finish Breaking Dawn. I just got really bored by the werewolf stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I skipped to the end. Sorry. So I did obviously watch all the movies, midnight releases, Catch Me at the Theater.
Catch Me at the Theater.
And it's just crazy. It lasted, like, first movie came out my 8th grade year. Last movie came out my junior year? My senior year?
Damn.
Yeah.
In your like formative years.
No, literally.
Damn. I wish they had midnight releases now.
I do too.
I would have
like,
loved...
I'm sick of this Thursday 2 p.m. release.
No.
Enough.
It
guys.
needs to be fun again.
It needs to be fun. I want to bring my blankets. I want to be in my pajamas.
Yeah.
You know?
I just feel like that was like prime teenager.
Yeah.
You guys really lived out the times.
No, we really did. Team Edward. What team are you?
I was always team Edward.
Okay.
I used to be team Jacob, but that's truly just for him. Just for Taylor.
I had a slip up of being team Jacob as well. New Moon came out. I saw him without a shirt on. I said, sorry, Edward.
I'm sold.
I think I'm team Jacob.
But like, it was only because of Taylor Lautner.
Yeah, then
like,
I realized, how toxic the character is, and I said, never mind.
I do have to say, I have to watch those movies again because it's been years.
No, you gotta do at least like a biannual watch.
Damn. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it with you.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Because you haven't had have you had your marathon yet?
Well, I did just recently rewatch the first one, but truly, I rewatch the first one like every 2 to 3 months.
Okay, I need to watch it.
I'll watch it once a week. I don't care. Don't worry about me.
I'll have to watch it with you.
Yeah.
Like we can do one a week.
Okay, I'm down.
Where are they all on one platform?
I think they're on Max or Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think maybe Max. You're right.
Saw them somewhere.
I don't have an excuse. Okay, so this next book is like truly, I don't know why I was obsessed with it because it has so much to do with like a lot of tragedy and trauma.
Oh.
But it's called What Mama Left Me.
Oh.
By Renee Watson.
Okay.
And I had to look up like a slight slight plots summary just to like not butcher what this book was about, but it was about like this little girl named Serenity, and her mother died and her father was like in prison, and so she was like living with her grandparents, and it was just her brothers also making like poor choices, like drug choices, and like her living in like a new area that wasn't very good, and like going to school and going to church and whatever. And like it talks about like her, like this little girl, and she's like maybe 10, 11. She's talking about like her trauma with her like parents and like seeing her dad be abusive, and like how she just like wishes that it was really fucking sad. It was like wishes she wasn't there, like wishes she wasn't anything. And then she wrote a lot like diary form of like to her mom that died, and she's like, this is what you like left me, like this is it was really, really sad. And I read it at like 12 years old.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why, but I think that it was like just a really good book about like dealing with like segregation as like a child, and seeing it through that eyes, and seeing like the abuse like that a kid could go through, and in a bad area and in a bad like family. And I don't know, it like was good to read at my age though, because it was written for like kids to understand. But I think like it was very educational for me, so it was something that's always been in my little heart, and I have it on my bookshelf because it's like my favorite book ever. And I have it on my Kindle, so I'm like, maybe I should reread it. But it was really good, and it's pretty long. Like it's probably the size of like Beach Read.
Oh wow,
it was huge.
I've never even heard of that book either.
Really good though. So Renee Watson, like you really taught kids, so
dang,
love it. That's that one. I have one more after this, but
okay. My last book series is The Hunger Games. Iconic by Suzanne Collins. Read this in high school, like my junior year, I think, and I just remember not being obsessed with the book series since Twilight until I read this book. And like at first I thought The Hunger Games was kind of like boring and slow. Once they got into that arena, bitch. I finished those books in like 2 weeks, like all of them.
Weren't you rereading them?
I was going to, and then I voted against it. I did read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Didn't like it. Suzanne, sorry.
Yeah, that's fair though.
But yeah, I remember reading it and like going to watch the movie. Maybe the midnight premiere, I can't remember. But like, wow. God. Transformative. My junior year.
Don't think I think I've maybe started the books, but I've never like finished them.
Oh, they're so good.
But maybe I should.
So good, especially the end. Like I remember, oh my god, I have to show you the very end of the book. It's like the hardest line in all of fiction. And it's like because PETA gets his memory erased, but then like they work to like I don't know, make him remember his memory.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I just remember it ends with, you never knew who like Katniss was going to choose, if it was going to be Gale or Peeta. And then when it gets to the end of like the third book, it's something about like they have kids, and it's like, so when he asks me something like, if I love him, I say I do, or something. I have to read it to you, but I just remember being like,
a hard line.
It's so good.
No, the movies were fire.
Yeah.
The movies were God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I rewatched them recently and I was like, damn, I forgot they got so political towards the end.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, I guess that's the whole point.
It was, yeah.
But I, much like Twilight, will watch the first one all the time.
Yeah.
But then that's like the only one I watch.
The first one that just hits different.
Exactly.
It just hits different.
Yeah.
It's like just a capsule of time, and I love it.
Yeah.
I have to watch that again too.
Yeah, you should.
We have like to do a movie marathon, girl.
I think
there's
we're gonna
plenty
have to.
that you have not watched.
Back at you.
Fair. But I think my list is a little longer.
What movies haven't I watched?
There's so many that like all of us, like all your friends and I, we've all said like you need to watch this, Brittany.
Ew, all your friends and I have said.
I'm ganging up on you right now.
Okay, damn.
Shout out if you're Brittany's friend. You know the feeling.
We'll talk after, I guess.
Not in front of the kids.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to fight in front of the kids right now, so.
Oh my God, I just got deja vu.
Oh, interesting.
This
Is
has
it
happened.
still going?
It's still going.
What am I going to say next?
I think because I knew you were going to say
No, you
that's
didn't.
interesting. No, I dead ass. Oh, that's weird. Okay.
I love deja vu.
It makes me feel weird.
It makes me feel powerful.
She's a witch.
Witch.
Okay, my last one is by Royal Dahl, BFG.
Big Friendly Giant?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot about him too.
Yeah, I loved, and Matilda, but
yes,
BFG was like one of my favorites, and then they fucked it up by making it a movie.
I see.
But the book was so good.
I heard it wasn't good. Yeah. The movie, not the book.
Yeah.
I do remember reading Charlie and the Chocolate Factory from him.
Yeah.
And then I remember that he says something about, like, I think he says ass.
Yeah.
And I was like,
oh. No, I know.
I was like 8 years old and I was like, I can't let my mom know I'm reading this.
I know my mom would get so mad at me.
Yeah.
Mom, she didn't.
I was like, it's literally a children's book. It's like my mom got it for me.
She bought.
Oh, fuck.
That could have been me or it could have been you. It was both of us at the same time.
Yeah, maybe we both yelled.
We got so excited over Roald Dahl.
Yeah.
No, those are good books.
Good books.
Good
Very
books.
good books.
Matilda was made by him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I love Matilda.
I love Matilda.
Love Matilda.
Love Matilda. It's so good. But I'm sure that there's like plenty other books that I don't remember at this moment.
I'm like Animorphs.
Oh my God. We've talked about this.
We've talked about Animorphs too many times. No, I know that there's other ones that
there's plenty of
forgetting.
them, but that's like a part of my childhood that I like still need to like remember.
Yeah.
Like you tend to forget like stuff that you like watched or read until like someone on social media posts it and you're like, oh. But what are your guys' books? Do you guys remember any of them from when you were a kid or just like when you were a teenager that you're like, ugh, does anyone else remember this? Let us know because maybe we will. Or if you remember any of our books, go ahead and comment and we can talk about them.
Definitely.
I might have to go in and like reread some of these just for like nostalgia.
Yeah, I think
vibes.
so. Or like at least watch the movie.
Reconnect with my roots, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But I think we didn't leave off anything else, right?
No, I think that's it.
I think that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this little episode and
Yeah.
got to know us a little bit more.
I hope that you guys are excited because starting next week, we are in Onyx Storm territory.
Terrified.
So, me too. Just to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek, if you've made it this far in the episode, what our game plan is. Next week, we will be doing kind of like a what to expect from Onyx Storm. I know that the first like 3 chapters, I believe, got leaked.
I have not looked at it.
I haven't found it yet because or I don't know, Apple Books released it and then very quickly went, whoop, never mind. So maybe we can like cover that in that episode. Then after that, we're going to be doing a first impressions and seeing if we got any of our theories correct.
Yeah.
Looking back at like all of that stuff. And then the deep dives will begin after that.
Yeah.
We want to we were going to start the very end of January. But we want you guys to be like reading along with us.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want it to be coming out too quickly to
Yeah.
where it's like nobody can relate to what we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
And we also want to like slightly take our time with reading it
Yeah,
and not
that
rush
too.
it,
Mhm.
because from what people are saying is that it's smaller than Iron Flame, but like near Fourth Wing-ish.
Like 20 pages more than Fourth Wing.
Yeah, so it's like pretty decent size.
It's like 500 pages.
Yeah, so like I don't want to rush it, and
Yeah.
then we also want to go back and like reread so we can have like a thorough debrief. But again, like Brittany said, we don't want to be like putting all of this content. You guys are like, I haven't even bought the book yet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we'll try to take our time to savor it, because we have no idea when the next fucking book will come out.
Yeah.
So just be watchful of what episodes we're taking out, and we'll try to have a better like structure once we actually like read the book.
Yeah. We'll have
and,
the schedule coming out.
Let you
soon.
guys know what we're covering.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're really excited, guys. It's
We're so
finally
excited.
time. We've been talking about this for like months, a year over.
No, truly can't believe that we're like here.
We're here.
It's crazy.
I'm so excited. So hopefully you guys are too, and we can't wait to see y'all there.
Yeah. We will see you next week, cadets.
Hi. All right, you guys. We'll see you later.
Bye,
Love
everybody.
you. Mwah.